Welcome in Monday edition of Outkick the Show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. This show is presented by Oddshark. Go to Oddshark for all of your gambling and informational related needs, including who is going to be the next FBI director. We will get to that at the end of the show on the rundown, but we begin with some ridiculousness out of San Antonio. I don't know if you guys have heard this yet, but Gregg Popovich was just addressing the media, and he just went scorched earth on Zaza. I could say his last name, but it's fun to say, but it's better to just say Zaza. I don't know if you guys have heard this. We're going to try a little bit of high-end pyrotechnics here. Audio-video show, all right? Audio-video show. Can we play Gregg Popovich's comments? Coming to you first. It just came out about an hour ago, and I want you to be able to hear it. So here is Gregg Popovich. Let me know how this works. Going off on Zaza Pachulia. Pachulia, however you want to say his name.
Elbow and Patty Mills. The play where he took Kawhi down and locked his arm in Dallas and could have broken his arm. Ask David West, his current teammate, how things went when Zaza was playing for Dallas and he and David got into it. And then think about the history he's had and what that means to a team, what happened last night. A totally unnatural closeout that the league has outlawed years ago and pays great attention to it. And Kawhi's not there. And you want to know how we feel about it. You want to know if that lessens our chances or not. We're playing very possibly the best team in the league. You know, we don't know what's going to happen in the East. And 9.75 people out of 10 would figure the Warriors will beat the Spurs. Well, we've had a pretty damn good season. We played fairly well in the playoffs. I think we're getting better. And we're up 23 points in the third quarter against Golden State. And Kawhi goes down. Like that. And you want to know if our chances are less, and you want to know how we feel, that's how we feel. Follow up?
Gregg Popovich has become the President Snow. I think that went pretty well. I'm going to start to try to break in some multimedia at times on this show when news is breaking and you guys may want to hear it. I want to now break down the play. First of all, as I said on the show this morning, I think the NBA head coach is by and large the most overrated head coach in all of sports. Now, I'm pulling myself out for hockey, because I don't know enough about hockey strategy. But I feel very confident that the head coach matters more in the NFL, college football, college basketball, that he matters more in soccer, high-end soccer, that he matters more in every sport but the NBA. That is, the sideline demeanor and coaching in the NBA matters less than in any other major sport in America. Having said that, Gregg Popovich is the best coach in the NBA. And what I am fascinated by is how there's hardly been any storylines about Mike Brown, who is one of the worst head coaches in the NBA. If you look at his resume, certainly the way it's ended recently, coming back on his team, coming back from 25 points down, and this is now the second time that the Spurs have come back from 20-plus points down. I didn't think the play was dirty. I thought it was a closeout. As somebody who rolls his ankle all the time, I always cringe every time I see somebody come down on somebody else's foot. I understand what Popovich is doing there. He's trying to get the officials on his side. He's trying to create a stir and make things work in the direction of the Spurs when they are, let's be honest, in desperation mode. They have virtually no chance, I don't believe, of winning on Tuesday. If you go down 2-0 to the Golden State Warriors, unless Draymond Green starts kicking people in the balls again, that series is all done. But what I think is fascinating is, do you think Tyronn Lue is a good basketball coach? Poll right now. Is Tyronn Lue a good basketball coach? Or is LeBron James basically a player coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Like, to me, LeBron James should get whatever award and contractual bonus that Ty Lue gets, because I think he is actually the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The reason why I ask that is because Ty Lue going back to last year, has now won 11 straight playoff games. 11 straight. 3 to end out after going down 3-1 against the Warriors, and now 8 straight to begin this season. Mike Brown, who I think most of you would say is not a great coach, has also won 9 playoff games in a row. Between them, I think it's likely that we get Ty Lue against Mike Brown, and it's possible that these guys are going to roll into the playoffs having won between them, what's the math on that, 27 straight games? Am I correct in the math being 27 straight games? It wouldn't shock me if the Warriors sweep the Spurs now, and it certainly wouldn't shock me if the Cavs sweep either the Celtics or the Wizards, depending on what happens in Game 7 tonight in that one in Boston. And that's crazy. Would it shock any of you guys out there if the Cavs won 4-0? Certainly, I think, again, I gave over-unders on the show today. I think the Cavs probably win in 5 or less. I'd be very surprised if it went over 5, no matter who they play. And I also think that the Warriors will win in 5 or less now. They need 3 more wins. They've already got 1. To me, fascinating story there about Gregg Popovich. Gregg Popovich, by the way, has become, I don't know how many of you guys watch the Hunger Games, but tell me that he isn't the spitting image of Donald Sutherland, who plays President Snow in the Hunger Games. I can't even watch him on the sideline without thinking, oh, there's President Snow all over the television, all over again. He's hijacked my television screen again. Okay, a couple of other stories that I want to get to. Any questions about Zaza? Any question about Zaza at all? Again, President Snow, a.k.a. Gregg Popovich, going off on Zaza for an injury. And also, Trump, he continues to talk about Donald Trump, and the sports media continues to cover Gregg Popovich talking about Donald Trump like he's an MSNBC spokesperson, which is a nice segue to this. I don't know how many of you have heard this, but this blew my mind. On Saturday night, I'm sitting trying to get my kids to go to bed. They are with their cousins. We have my parents have 6 grandkids, 9 and under. My sister has 3 kids. I have 3 kids. And I was sitting to make sure they went to bed. And this is fascinating. Several of you sent this to me. I love the Outkick army out there, always like looking at information and sharing information with me. It's hard for me to keep tabs on everything. But you guys are my eyes and ears. You see everything. And this happened last night. More multimedia for you, by the way. More multimedia for you. I'm going to play this. This was Saturday night on SportsCenter on ESPN. This is not a Saturday Night Live skit. This is who the presenting sponsor was of SportsCenter. We played it this morning on Outkick the Coverage. I'm going to tell you guys, this is unbelievable. Are you ready? Here we go. This is what it sounded like.
MSNBC, because information and facts have never been more important.
Can you guys believe that? Could you hear it well enough? I'm going to pull it up and see if I've got a better audio feed. Could you guys hear that? You need it louder. Okay, I'm going to play it for you again. This is who brought SportsCenter. This is who brought SportsCenter, presenting sponsor of SportsCenter on. Here it is.
SportsCenter, brought to you by MSNBC, because information and facts have never been more important.
Is your mind blown? Again, I'm going to play it for you one more time. This was Saturday night. This is not like an SNL skit. This is real life. Who brought SportsCenter, who was the presenting sponsor of SportsCenter on Saturday night on ESPN SportsCenter? Again, this is real life. You guys were watching. Several of you tweeted me immediately. I'm going to play it one more time. This is SportsCenter. Of all the networks, of all the advertisers that could happen, this is who was sponsoring. Again, one more time.
Because information and facts.
All right, I screwed that up.
SportsCenter, brought to you by MSNBC, because information and facts have never been more important.
Wow. Wow. And what's amazing about that is ESPN just laid off all of its reporters who actually have information and facts. I'm going to break down this story, but can you guys believe that this actually happened? Again, SportsCenter was presented by MSNBC. I mean, there are several different angles that I want to attack on this story. But number one, I want to point out that ESPN has the audacity to run this ad right after they just cut all their best NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, and Major League Baseball reporters, as well as soccer. If information and facts matter more now than ever, wouldn't you want to have actually legitimate information from your reporters as opposed to just opinionists sitting around? And look, I'm an opinionist. I'm not claiming that I'm an expert on any one particular field. Now, lots of people that you guys watch and read Outkick and listen to our show, but I'm not claiming that I'm an expert. I'm in the opinion business. But I'm also saying that I'm in the opinion business and it builds off of the legitimate news business, because that's what you do. If you have a real legitimate opinion, you want to base it off of real legitimate news, right? And so we break news at Outkick, but that's wild to me again. And there are several things that jump out here. One, can you believe that ESPN, given the fact that they are rapidly hemorrhaging Republican viewers, made the decision to allow MSNBC to advertise on SportsCenter? If you were out there arguing like their PR arm is at all moments of every day, oh, ESPN's not liberal, oh, this Clay Travis, he's full of shit when he calls this ESPN. That's what they're saying all the time. That's what they're feeding to all the different media people out there. If you were making that argument all the time, would you allow MSNBC to advertise on your signature sports property, SportsCenter? It's mind-blowing to me that somebody made that decision. And again, this ties in with what I wrote up on Outkick today. I said, guys, this is not an intelligent, what I've been told over and over again by people who are employed by ESPN or former employees of ESPN, is that I'm giving credit way too much for the intelligence of ESPN executives. Because I don't know how any advertiser who's plugged in at all could see that audio and could make the decision, you know what? Instead of taking money from Converse or Under Armour or Nike or Gatorade or whoever else is out there sponsoring SportsCenter on a regular, let's take money from MSNBC. Second part of this, do you think they would have taken a Fox News ad if it had the exact same tagline? I would say no. And that's why ESPN is sending the message to all Republican voters out there, we don't care about you. They would definitely not have taken an ad from Fox News. Here's another question for you. Would they have taken an ad from Donald Trump saying the exact same thing? I think the answer is no. And so if you're making the decision not to take political ads from Donald Trump or Fox News, what you're making the decision to do is advertise to your audience only one particular side of the political equation, and you're saying to your Republican viewers, you don't matter to us anymore. And we're not even going to be able to argue now that we're not politicizing sports, because MSNBC, which has so many different places they could theoretically be advertising, right? In theory, MSNBC could go out to any number of different cable networks and spend money to try to reach viewers. Their data analytics is telling them that the best way they can spend money to reach their audience of liberal viewers is to go advertise on SportsCenter. They're not in the business of just throwing money away. ESPN has gone so left-wing that left-wing organizations now are thinking, you know what we should do? We should go advertise our product on there. It's mind-blowing. Here's another aspect of this story. How about the fact that MSNBC is making the decision to advertise on ESPN, and it happens. This is ABC against NBC. It's mind-blowing stuff. I couldn't believe when this happened. Again, I'm going to play it for you one more time if you're just tuning in right now. Where did the most recent Saturday night advertisement and presenting sponsorship come from for ESPN? It came from MSNBC. And this is not a Saturday Night Live skit. This is not some mocked up fake ad. This ran on Saturday night on ESPN.
SportsCenter, brought to you by MSNBC. Because information and facts have never been more important.
Information and facts have never been so important, and Fox is not allowed to advertise, neither is Donald Trump, but we will allow MSNBC to advertise on our signature program. Questions that you guys might have through our first two stories. By the way, let me go ahead and tell you right now, you know what you should do? You should download SeatGeek. Download SeatGeek right now, and you can get hooked up thanks to my great friends at SeatGeek as you get ready for the Stanley Cup Finals. Maybe you're looking tonight, you want to go in Boston to go watch the game against the Wizards. Maybe you're getting geared up for the Warriors and the Spurs series. Go download SeatGeek right now, and I will hook you up, and you will be glad that you did because they can get $20 off right now. Here's how you get $20 off. You download the SeatGeek app. I've got it on my phone. I will show it to you along with the other apps that I have. There's my SeatGeek app. It's on the bottom row. I don't think there's anything incriminating about the apps that I have on my phone right now. I don't think I gave anything away there, okay? There's my SeatGeek app. You guys can go look at it. You download the SeatGeek app. You do what I did. You go in the settings code. You click add a promo code. You put in the promo code OUTKICK, and you get $20 off. You can get whatever you want, whether it's Broadway tickets, whether it's NHL, NBA playoffs. Maybe you want to get ready for the college football season and get great seats in advance. What I love about it, guys, I use it too. I go on the app. I'm going to buy app tickets for them for Thursday night. I'm going to go to the Preds and the Anaheim series. I'm going to get great tickets. My wife wants to go. She said, why would we pay $300 and have crappy seats when we can pay $450 and have great seats? And that's what your wife says when you're rich and she's not spending the money and she's hot and she wants to have good seats. She says, why would we pay $300 each for crappy seats when we can get on your SeatGeek app? I can look at the color code on the circle. I can decide, you know what, let's get really good seats. Let's go sit down close to the ice, Clay. You're paying all the money anyway. You can pay $500 each for these tickets, and we'll know that we have absolutely some of the best seats in the place. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go buy the best seats in the place. And you know why? Because odds are she'll sleep with me after the game, and she might not sleep with me if we have crappy seats. That's marriage, boys and girls. Go download the SeatGeek app today. You'll be glad that you did. Again, go to the settings tab, click add a promo code, put in the promo code OUTKICK, and you will be well on your way to making yourself a lot more popular with your wife or girlfriend, thanks to the fact that you can use their seat finder feature and get the best possible seats imaginable. Okay, here we go. Questions so far about MSNBC, about Gregg Popovich. What questions do you have? I watched Miss USA, but I only watched the end of it. Big win for Washington, D.C. I thought that girl was gorgeous. I thought she deserved to win relative to the final options. But I also heard that she said that healthcare was not a right and liberals have lost their mind, which is really funny. Big win for D.C. I'm going to have to tell you the truth here. If Miss D.C. turned the tide for the city of Washington, D.C., the most cursed sports city in America, it would be massive. It would be incredible if she's made that play. I think there's maybe a decent chance tonight, but I'm going on the Celtics. I think the Celtics win by 6 or more points. Big game for John Wall, his opportunity to step onto the national stage. Big shot that he hit on Friday night, but I don't think that he has the wherewithal to get a win on the road. They've played 10 games, I think, so far. The home team has won all of them. Certainly, they've played 6 so far in this game. And honestly, the Celtics had that game won and then choked it away. They were up 5 with the ball. They were up 5 with the ball, the Celtics were, with like a 1:20 left. They turned it over. Then Bradley Beal came down and hit a 3. Celtics, what an unbelievable shot that Al Horford hit. I don't know how many of you guys were watching that, but Al Horford somehow banked a shot from an angle where a bank should never be possible. Looked like he was going to win the game for the Celtics, but then John Wall comes back down and drains a big 3, and Isaiah Thomas cannot answer, and we roll into Game 7. I'm on the Celtics tonight, but man, what a great game that was, finally, in the NBA playoffs. I think the Spurs are going to win by the Celtics are going to win by double digits. I really do. Okay, questions. NBA lottery tomorrow night. I haven't even broken down the NBA lottery. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm rooting for the Lakers to get Lonzo Ball because I think it makes the storyline so much more interesting in the NBA. If we've got crazy-ass LeVar Ball right in his backyard, Lonzo goes. He thinks he's the next Magic Johnson. I am rooting for that, no doubt. I think it would be a phenomenal story. So that's the only thing I'm rooting for is that the Lakers get Lonzo Ball. I want that to happen. Okay, additional questions. Anything about MSNBC meets ESPN? If you had any questions, ESPN is the truth. People love Travis Clay. If you don't know Travis Clay, he's my SJW alter ego. I broke him out on Friday making the argument. Okay, you want Travis Clay. Here we go. Boom. I was relieved to see MSNBC finally start advertising on ESPN SportsCenter. You know why? Because there's so many racist white people who don't even understand how much white privilege they have watching these poor, black athletes who don't have air conditioning privilege, bust their asses, and they are on the Trump train, and they're trying to make America great again with their racist red caps at his Liberty University speech. If you saw that, it was basically the equivalent of a KKK convention. That's all I could think. When I saw all those white people in those red hats, I said, you know what the difference is here between a KKK meeting and the white cone caps that everybody wore back in the day and the Make America Great hats that I saw during that Liberty University rally? None. Do you know why Donald Trump's hats are red? Because they're stained by the blood of minorities that are getting their throats slit on a day-by-day basis by police officers across this country. Do you know why they're red? They dip them in the blood of minorities. That's what's happening. There's no doubt at all about it. Every single day, police officers across this country, they wake up, they walk outside, they load their guns, and they say, I'm going to go kill minorities. And it happens every day, and we allow it to happen, and they just cock their guns, and they go run around, click-clack, killing people left and right. Black Lives Matter is not just a slogan. It's a way of life, and I'm so proud and so glad and so enabled and so filled with social justice righteousness. I am so pleased that ESPN made the decision to allow MSNBC to bring their truth to cable sports. Because you know what? Colin Kaepernick is a hero, and there's not enough people on ESPN pointing out how heroic he is. He's a modern-day Rosa Parks. Without Colin Kaepernick, do you know how many people would be dead in this country killed by minorities? If he hadn't taken a knee, there would be 20 million more black people dead in this country. It's a fact. Don't have to believe me. It's just a fact. Cops would have killed 20 million black people, but then Colin Kaepernick took a knee, and they said, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't kill black people. And now there's 20 million people alive who wouldn't have been alive if Colin Kaepernick hadn't taken a knee. And I just thank ESPN every day with every fiber of my being. I bless them for having the bravery to point out that Colin Kaepernick's a modern-day Rosa Parks, that Caitlyn Jenner is the truest hero of this universe since Nelson Mandela died. Basically, she represents everything pure in this world. And also that Michael Sam, who had the courage to say, you know what? I like to suck dick. I like to sleep with men. And do you know how brave that was for him to be like, instead of having sex with a woman's vagina, I like to have sex with a man's butthole. It was so brave of him to say that. Because everybody else in the NFL, they're all about trying to have sex with a vagina. And Michael Sam was like, no. I'd rather have sex with an ass. And you know what? It's really the bravest thing I've ever heard of. Because I don't know how in the world you could possibly not believe that Michael Sam is a true hero. Because I'll tell you what heroism is in today's day and age. It's fucking a guy in the ass. Because I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of people that want to have sex and have sex with a girl who has a vagina. But you know who's really being discriminated against? It's all the men who play sports that want to have sex with guys in their ass. And Michael Sam made it safe for everybody to have sex in the ass again. And that's why he's a hero. And I am so glad that we were able to have that happen. Because without that, the world would not be a good place. And so I bless you on behalf of ESPN. I thank you for running that MSNBC ad. Because without it, millions of people would have been dead. And it does matter. Facts matter. Even though ESPN's firing everybody who works in the NBA, breaking news, who breaks news in college basketball, who breaks news in the in NFL, college football, NHL, soccer, every sport, they're firing reporters left and right. But you know what? You don't need reporters when you're on the right side of history. And ESPN's on the right side of history. God bless them. God bless them for providing for Colin Kaepernick. And I hope they go hire Colin Kaepernick since no NFL team will. All right. This is back to Clay Travis. Boom. Travis Clay is gone. Final couple of thoughts. The FBI odds are out. The FBI odds are out. And I am here to tell you right now who's going to be the next FBI director. This is according to OddsShark. And the next FBI director is going to be Trey Gowdy. He's at 3-1, according to the favorites here. Mike Rogers, 9-2. Paul Abbott, no idea who some of these guys are, 6-1. Andrew McCabe, I know he's the current acting director, 8-1. Alice Fisher, 9-1. And Michael Garcia, Rudy Giuliani's on here at 15-1. Anyway, those are the favorites to be the FBI directors. Hillary Clinton is not on the list to be the next FBI director. So that is the list. The senator from Texas, John, how do you pronounce his name? Cornyn? I don't ever know how to pronounce people's names. I just read them in the newspaper. I'm not a guy who sits around watching TV all day. Okay. Any other things that I need to hit here? How about Antonio Cromartie? Antonio Cromartie actually making the decision to go out and have another kid, even though he already got a vasectomy. He's got elite-level sperm. There's no doubt. Elite-level sperm on Antonio Cromartie. He can defeat everybody out there. It's amazing. It's amazing how elite Antonio Cromartie's sperm is. Either his wife is cheating on him and having somebody else's babies, or Antonio Cromartie has now had 3 children since he got a vasectomy. I don't know which doctor he had, but that is not much of an endorsement of that doctor's surgical skills. Or it's just a sign that Antonio Cromartie's sperm cannot be defended. They cannot be contained. They cannot be stopped by ordinary course of business. They're finding the fallopian tubes no matter what. Cromartie could go outside right now and jerk off a roof and get 10 women pregnant. That's how good a swimmer his sperm are. I'm telling you right now, any woman around when Antonio Cromartie opens up Pornhub, he gets 10 women pregnant. First man in history other than God to get women pregnant without having sex with them. Just jerks off, spins it in the air. They just go swimming through the air, his sperm impregnating women left and right. Don't let your daughters or your wives or your moms anywhere near Antonio Cromartie when he's jerking off because they're going to get pregnant. That's what that story tells me. I don't know. Not an expert on biology. Seems to be possible that if Antonio Cromartie Travis, Antonio Cromartie's sperm are indeed superheroes. This has been Outkick the Show. Go to oddshark.com for all of your gambling and informational related needs. My thanks to ESPN for turning into a liberal left-wing organization and making it so readily apparent that they are one by running ads for MSNBC on their signature program of SportsCenter. Kisses to all of you. Remember, don't be a pussy. Live life as you would live it. Sleep with whoever you want. Have sex with whatever body parts you would like, so long as your partners are of consenting age. I am Clay Travis, and I hope you all have very fertile Monday nights. This has been Outkick